This video is about emotional detox or how do you get rid of emotional trauma? How do you release trauma? Because if you are like most people on this planet, you most likely as a child went through some kind of trauma, something that emotionally triggered you. It could be a simple event, it could be something that your parents said to you, and these events are scarring you to this day. In fact, these events are creating some of your illnesses today because how it works, as I always tell you, the body is full of energy. It's an energy being, and the body, the physical body as you see it, is not the only body you have. You have the subtle body, the energy body, and then it goes more and more until you reach consciousness, and then there's beyond that as well. So very often the words people use on you or the words that trigger you can cause emotional trauma. And a lot of people, conventionally speaking, will go to a therapist and the therapist will listen to you and sometimes you feel better, but it's never fully resolved. And I'm going to share with you how you can resolve it, at least the best way I know of, okay, from experience, from helping others as well. So the reason why you cannot break free of this trauma is because you believe yourself to be the body and mind. Whilst the body and mind are present and you can experience it, they are not the real you. The real you, think about it carefully. Some people call it awareness or consciousness, but even that is not the real you. But as far as consciousness, its existence is concerned, the real you is the awareness and the consciousness. True awareness and consciousness does not have the mind present. It's the purest form of knowledge. This knowledge will allow the mind and the body to be present on it. It's almost like a screen. Without the screen, the body and mind cannot be present. So the distinction of the real you versus the mind and body is very important when it comes to getting rid of emotional trauma. Because if the emotional event happened to the real you, it is not possible. The real you cannot have any event or emotion attached to it. It's awareness, it's pure consciousness. Okay, and if you identify with that, any emotional trauma or event that happened to you cannot latch onto you, because right now it's latching onto you because you take yourself to be the body and mind, so you're holding on to the trauma. But if you understood you're not the body and mind, that event happened to the body and mind, it didn't happen to you. Okay, not to say that you're gonna have three personalities. No, I'm not talking about that at all. Actually, I'm talking about centering in yourself so much so that events of the world matter not much. You will be part of it, you acknowledge it, you have the joy and the sorrow, whatever it is, but you will not be attached to it. So that's a very, very important distinction. And how do you get to your true awareness? Well, meditation. And the understanding that you're not the body and mind. The meditation, you can use the I am meditation, the I meditation, I meaning I. You use a mantra, you can close your eyes, you can sit down and meditate somewhere. There's various forms of meditation, but the best one I've found is to focus on the I amness. I am, okay? Who am I? That's kind of meditation. And this will be done for a period of time. And if you keep on doing it, the mind gets less and less attached to you, and your true self gets closer and closer. In other words, you start to understand that who you really are. If you don't make this change or distinction, forevermore, you will always be attached to the body and mind. Believe it or not, if you believe in past lives or not, this was what creates past lives, future lives, because you cannot resolve the emotions and the events that happen to you. You cannot shake it off. So you're always attached to them. There are people who will gain weight because maybe their parents said to them, hey, why are you eating so much? You're too fat, example. Or there are people who have been traumatized by physical events, but there's no one there to tell them how to really shake off it and how to distinguish between the self, the real self, and their body and mind. And without this distinction, it's going to be difficult, as I mentioned. You see, in pure awareness, there's no future and there's no past. The past and future is what makes the mind strong. The mind hates the present, and so it's going to do whatever it can to make you think of the future or the past. The future is harder for most people to imagine, but the past is easier to go back to and grab onto. So the mind will go to the past and hold on to an event that's traumatizing. Very often, it's very seldom that it goes and holds on to a good event, but very often it goes back to an event that was traumatizing and holds on to it subconsciously. So your body is being affected, your health is being affected because you're not letting go, okay? And no one has taught you how to let go. Because if you go to a therapist and a therapist he listens to you and vice versa, it's great for you, but at the end of the day, the therapist has problems. and you have problems, and therefore how can the blind lead the blind? So the distinction is, go back and find who you are and center in yourself. Be in the now. Now, being in the now is a word used often, and it makes no sense, because if you try and be in the now, you're not in the now. Your mind being conscious of the now spoils the now. So if that statement that being in the now is silly, doesn't make sense, and doesn't work. To be in the now, the mind must be not present, and the only way the mind is not present is if you have the deep understanding. The mind has a deep understanding that it's not real. It doesn't have power over you. If it knows it doesn't have power over you, the mind will not bother you. It will be present, but it will be like burnt rope, meaning that whenever you touch the mind, when I say touch, you know what I mean, it disintegrates like burnt rope. It has no grasp on you. And the only way you can get the mind to be in that condition is through meditation and through understanding that the body and mind are not you, the real you, or they're not true. And it's true, the body and mind are not true. What I mean by that, meaning that when you sleep and you go into deep sleep, you create an entire different world. And in that world is real. There's a body there, there's a mind there. And if anyone was to tell you in that dream, if it was you were present in that dream, you would tell them that this is real, right? There's no, as far as the mind and body is concerned, there's no distinction between the dream world and reality. As far as if you are dreaming and you have a vivid dream. So what changes cannot be real. The reality is always constant, it doesn't change. However, anything that changes is not real. It cannot be real because it's not constant, it's not always present, it's not ever present. The true self is ever present. So this distinction is very important. Let's go back into a way you can understand better. So knowing that the past and the future is what makes the mind active, is what keeps the trauma alive, you just need to understand that the past and the future are not real. They're just thoughts you're going back to, and therefore you have no right to hold on to them, because you hold on to them because you need something to hold on to. However, if you stay in the present by understanding that the mind itself is not real, the mind becomes less and less, and the traumatic events will no longer hold on to you because you have understood who you truly are. Okay, so I hope this makes sense to you. I was trying to explain to somebody because it's very difficult. For most people who are traumatized, they can't shake off an event. Somebody hurt you in the past and you won't let go. You keep on thinking of the thing. The person has moved on. Number two, the thought and event has passed. You cannot go back to it and fix it, but you can understand that it's not real. It was an event that, like a dream, happened. It's past. You had a bad dream, essentially. So you wake up from the dream, and you stay in the moment, in the present. You stay in the moment by understanding your true self. That's it. Now, I thought if you really want to know how to manifest, how to help yourself spiritually, mentally, physically, you want to get this new book I wrote, okay? It's not even perfect, meaning that the way I've written it is basically, I wrote my thoughts down there, and it's very powerful, and I want to share with you, okay? It's on Amazon. You can get it. It's called How to Manifest Abundance, Health Through Affirmations and Imagination, okay? Make sure you get a copy. It's brand new, just came out, and you enjoy it. The content is amazing. I'm going to improve the book, obviously, but the content is amazing, and it will benefit you very much so. So I hope this helps you. If it did help you, please share it with someone who you care about. Maybe they have a different perspective of healing themselves, emotionally at least, and stay blessed.